What's up, everybody? In honor of Team UK winning this season of Challenge War of the Worlds 2, I'm going to break down this episode all in my British accent. Just kidding. Well, what's up, everybody? I am back. My name is Tom, bringing you another breakdown, and we have reached the conclusion of this season, War of the Worlds 2, for the greatest show MTVs The Challenge. But here I will be breaking down the final episode of this season. If you enjoy my video, if you enjoy my breakdown, be sure to shoot me a like and subscribe. But nonetheless, let's get into it. We start off with Paulie dying, so we thought. But he comes back to life, he resurrects himself, brings himself back from the dead. Now he is Paulie the Undead. And he makes it back just in time to help them with checkpoint 4, which is a puzzle. It'd be interesting if there was no time limit on these checkpoints. Team USA may have caught up and passed Team UK. We saw Team UK couldn't figure it out. I don't know how long they lasted on that checkpoint. There was no time limit in the corner or anything. But it looked as though Team USA solved this fairly quickly with the leadership of Paulie. Paulie really figured out this puzzle quick, and it should have helped them, but it didn't, because Team UK by that time was finished with stage 1. What do you all think? Do you think the time caps for each checkpoint and each kind of challenge within a final, do you think that's necessary, the time cap? Or should they just keep trying to figure it out until they figure it out? And they can't go on until they figure it out. Team UK makes it to the boat after they finish stage 1. And they get to replenish themselves with some healthy food before stage 2 starts. USA finishes eventually, and TJ informs them that they have a 10-minute penalty because of the way they were carrying their gurney and the sandbags separate and swapping people in and out of carrying the gurney without, being at a checkpoint. But where does that 10 minutes go? To the stage they just lost? Like, clearly they lost. They finished after Team UK. Why even bring up that they have a penalty? They lost that round already. So, pointless. What do you guys think? TJ rides in like a badass on a motorboat, trying to catch him riding cleanly. Right? Nah? Baddest challenge host to ever do it. Boop, 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 boop. And he informs both teams on the boat that they will have to swim to shore and find out where their sleeping arrangements are. Right here, I thought the struggles of Paulie came to an end, but on this boat, he is seriously cramping up. Looks like he's in excruciating pain. Looks uncomfortable for everybody on this small boat with like 7 people, and he's out there trying to stretch it out, trying to have Leroy stretch him out, and he's just screaming in agony. Not a good look once again on the way to start stage 2. CT is the first one to see the sleeping arrangements, and you could see it on his face. It looks like straight out of a horror movie, like he's about to enter a torture room. So yes, they will be sleeping next to snakes. There's 2 beds set up, and then on the floor just a bunch of snakes. 1 bed for each team, so 1 person from each team can sleep at a time. Everybody else has to stand on their steps, their team steps on the side. Now, didn't really seem too hard to me, sleeping beside snakes. I understand if you are deathly afraid of snakes, this would be a problem. But I don't feel like a majority people are afraid of snakes. I feel like you put something else in there like tarantulas, cockroaches, that ups the level of scary big time. And I feel like people would have had more of a problem with that, sleeping while tarantulas are crawling under them, and just cockroaches, the sounds of them, and having to step through. I feel like that would have been better TV than snakes, and a more difficult stage. But snakes it is. Now this is the first time Team UK gets a look at Paulie since the beginning of stage 1. And you hear Tori say it looks like he's a zombie, looks yellow, looks dead. It's very surprising seeing him like this after all the talk he has talked on the season. Paulie made this final maybe a majority of the season about him versus Jordan, you know. Him wanting to beat Jordan in the final and him being able to do so, him being confident in himself and thinking he's the better all-around competitor than Jordan. Boy, was he wrong. I mean, props to Paulie for, you know, pushing through that pain threshold. Really looked like he was about to get, you know, carried off by a stretcher towards the end of stage 1, but he pushed through. So, you know, mad props to him, and he did finish the final, so good for him. But at the same time, he's the, you know, one of the main reasons why they lost stage 1. You know, he could not carry that gurney anymore. He was dropping it without care, you know, damaging the gurney, laying down, half the time just falling. So he pushed through the pain, but at the same time he cost his team a stage 1. And as we see, you know, looking ahead, that was the deciding factor of who won this challenge, who won this season, who won the final stage, because Team UK had that 5-minute head start. But we'll get to that. So TJ shows up fresh as a daisy in the morning to everybody who has just stayed up all night practically, and informs them that down on the beach, where they will have to run, are 12 puzzles, one for each person. You must complete this puzzle, run across the island to the shore, and then swim to a boat. Now, he says that there are only 4 spots available for each team on these boats, so some people about to get purged out. 1 person from Team UK is going to get purged out, while 3 from Team USA is getting purged out. This whole season from beginning, you know, I thought personally that the team with more people in a final would have a clear advantage, but it has pretty much been a disadvantage. You know, saw the more weight on the gurney in stage 1, although they had more bodies to keep swapping out, but the more weight really seemed to do some damage, do a number on their gurney. And now just, you know, majority, almost half of their team is just getting purged out. It's gotta hurt. So yeah, TJ says go. Everybody races down to the puzzles, and this is the moment of truth. Who will go on? Who will get purged out? We see Ninja, after all she did in stage 1, and by all, I mean nothing she did in stage 1, she finishes this puzzle first and makes her way to the boat, but not before screaming very obnoxious sounds past everybody as she's passing everybody still working on the puzzle, making stupid squeals and like monkey sounds and unnecessary. But that's Ninja. It was almost like she was showboating with each different sound she made while passing everybody still working on the puzzle. I found it very, very annoying. CT is the next to finish and first to finish for Team UK. You know, self-proclaimed puzzle master, CT. B shocks the world once again, and she is the 3rd person to finish this puzzle, 2nd for Team UK, securing her spot in the final 4 for her team. And then we see Rogan, and then it's the nightmare settles in for Jordan and Tori. They must battle it out. They must go head to head in this puzzle pretty much, and whoever figures it out first goes on. Whoever doesn't goes home. How romantic. It's something straight out of a romance novel. It's almost like one of them has to die for them to live. But, you know, could have been worse. I mean, if D, CT, or Rogan got stuck back, they would have went home with nothing, obviously. Tori goes home, but she's engaged to Jordan, so his winnings are her winnings, so it all kind of evens out. I mean, them being both there and having the potential to win 500K, that would have been a little too much. So I'm happy that happy and sad in a way that, you know, at least one of them was able to get in there, and the rest of Team UK brought something home, Rogan, D, and CT. But again, that's jumping ahead. We see Kara finish next, and at least she waits until she's away from everybody to to squeal in happiness. Paulie finishes shortly after, and that means there's one spot left for each team, for UK and USA. While the people still trying to solve on Team USA, Leroy, Cam, Ashley, and Zach. And Zach is the one who secures that 4th spot for Team USA on that boat. Heartbreaking for everybody else. It sucks because in stage 1, the all-stars of the stage were Zach, Leroy, Ashley, and Cam. 3 of 4 of them are getting purged out in this, while the weak links in stage 1 get to go on and compete in stage 2. Doesn't seem too fair to the people who, you know, carried that gurney for majority of the time. So Jordan finishes and tries his best to wait for Tori to finish. We see he's going as slow as he can just to see if Tori can, you know, complete the puzzle and catch up with him. And I think Jordan would have let Tori have that final spot on the boat. That seems like what he was doing. I could be wrong, but that would have been another very romantic moment for the two newly engaged. Ashley finishes, but she's the 5th person to finish on Team USA. You know, she sees the writing on the wall and knows that she has to outswim Zach to get that 4th spot, and that's not happening. So everybody else times out, and the certainty of elimination is inevitable to them. They are purged out of this final after so long, you know, on this season. For so long, stage 1, staying up all night. They go home because of a puzzle. And people they carried through stage 1 go on. It's gotta be heartbreaking for those going home right now. Leroy's long wanting win will have to wait. And it makes me wonder, since he's not on next season. Spoiler alert, I suppose. Because the cast is already out for next season. Will he be back? Will we see Leroy again? And then more importantly, will he be able to get a win even if he comes back? I feel like that was his best shot. That was one of his best seasons he's played. But it came down to a puzzle and a swim for Leroy. And those have never been Leroy's strong suit. So just a crappy draw for Leroy at this point. How do you all feel about this purge with the puzzle at this section of the final before stage 2 starts? I feel like they shouldn't be eliminated because of a puzzle. It should be something that measures heart rather than intelligence, I suppose, or like effort, not just solving a puzzle. Puzzles are a crucial part of the challenge, don't get me wrong, but purging somebody out in a final because of it, I just don't know that's the right way to go. But yeah, we get to stage 2 of the final, and Team USA is Paulie, Ninja, Kara, and Zach, while Team UK is CT, Jordan, D, and Rogan. And in stage 2, there's a checkpoint called Chain Gang. You have to attach the chain to your ankles and then follow the arrows to the finish line. It's like a 6-mile race. They're all chained together, so they can't run that fast. They gotta get in like a rhythm. Once the 6 miles is up, you have to solve a tanagram puzzle. Then once you finish that puzzle, you kayak your way to the yacht, which is the finish line. You get all of your team members to the yacht in that kayak, and you win. So yes, they start this chain gang checkpoint. Team UK seems to struggle, but they get a 5-minute head start because they won stage 1. 6 miles at the pace that they have to go at while, you know, chained up together must have taken a while. You know, they weren't able to go that fast, so that must have been strenuous to say the least. So during the home stretch of this chain gang little challenge, they're on the beach line, we see, and Team USA has caught up a little bit to Team UK. They can see them in their sight. We hear Jordan after they finish the finish line to solve the final puzzle that Team USA is about 2 minutes behind, so it seems like they made up like 3 minutes of that 5-minute time penalty math. And yes, it's a tanagram, one of those puzzles with many shapes. I think this is a 9-piece tanagram, CT says. But yeah, Team UK is struggling on the puzzle. Team USA gets to the puzzle, so they are dead even at this point. the equalizer of the puzzle strikes again. So anybody can win it right now. And now this puzzle is the deciding factor to $1 million. Don't know how I feel about that. I kind of wish like the stages were reversed and whoever crossed that finish line with a gurney would be millionaires, not whoever solved this puzzle first. But it's the challenge. It is what it is. Something ignites in Kara's head. We see she gets excited. She thinks she sees how to solve this puzzle, but to no avail. And then she almost has it still, but Paulie kind of swaps some pieces, and Kara gets really mad, and gets aggravated, and says, I had it. And then everyone backs off and tries to let her solve it. Paulie and her kind of get aggravated at each other. We hear Paulie kind of take a jab at how he's sick of her bullshit or something like that. And just sums up the whole season again. I'm just like, all these relationships flourished in this house on this season, except for Kara and Paulie. They're still going at it. So it's strange to see. I don't know if they're still together, and I don't know if they act completely different outside of the challenge house. But in the challenge house, they do not seem too compatible. So apparently there's a time limit on this tanagram, this puzzle as well. They didn't tell us that, but we see Team UK times out, so they are off to their kayaks, and they must kayak to the yacht. They get the head start. It seems like the victory's in their hands. Team USA can't figure it out until they time out. By the time they time out, Team UK is halfway to the yacht already in their kayaks, and it starts to settle in for Paulie that he's now winning this season. I think it should have settled in at stage 1, but they still almost won and came back in stage 2. So Team UK kayaks there. As long as nobody gets capsized, they're good. Nobody gets capsized. They make it to the boat. They win War of the Worlds 2. They are champions. We see CT get his 3rd championship, his 3rd challenge championship. Jordan get his 3rd challenge championship, his 3rd consecutive win as well. 3 seasons in a row that he has won. D, 2nd season, 1st win. Rogan, 2nd season, 1st win. We hear Rogan say, first Brit to ever get eliminated from the challenge, and now the first Brit to win a challenge. Yeah, it's just great to see CT and Jordan, specifically CT for me as an old school viewer. I've seen every season, and CT has definitely gotten I wouldn't say unlucky, because he's definitely done it to himself with getting disqualified, getting kicked out of the house for violence or breaking the rules in certain eliminations. But CT has been to a lot of final eliminations where he has lost. I can think of 3 come to the top of my head. Him against Brad in the duel where he ripped the carabiner instead of unclipping it, gets disqualified, goes home. Free agents in that puzzle elimination. There's 3 stages of puzzles against Bananas. The elimination before the final on free agents, he goes home. And along with Rivals 1. Yeah, Rivals 1, where him and Adam went against Bananas and Tyler in that dugout elimination with transferring the balls. And yeah, they lost that one and he goes home. So I feel like he definitely deserved to have more than 2 wins, and now it's very nice to see that he has 3 wins. Really solidifying his legacy on this show. Everybody's on the boat, winners and losers, while the winners celebrate and the losers sulk. Some people taking it on the chin, Paulie and Zach. We don't hear much from Ninja. I feel like Ninja was pretty much non-existent this whole final. Kind of in the background a lot. Some people don't take it as well as Paulie and Zach. It's okay. You still got your wars. Team UK went 3-11 in the daily challenges. Should have been worse than that maybe, because Team USA threw 2 challenges. So Team UK really only won 1 challenge. And I think it was the final challenge that they didn't have any help from Team USA winning. They won that on their own. So wow. What a cruddy season for them, but they win, so it was all worth it, I suppose. But yep, that wraps it up. Our new champions are crowned. Team UK wins it. Team UK, but only one UK person on the team. I think they're maybe anticipating on a couple more UKs to have a championship under their belts after this season. So let's hand out some War of the Worlds 2 superlatives. Pretty much NBA style. The, most improved player of the season definitely goes to D. She is no slouch anymore. I don't think anybody will look at her sideways. The sixth man of the year, give it to Leroy. He was kind of the sixth man on that USA Alliance. He wasn't originally in it, but he did, incorporate himself into it. So sixth man of the year goes to him, makes it to a final. Couldn't come up the win, came up a little short, but we love you, Leroy, as always. The defensive player of the season goes to CT. Played very defensive this whole season, not choosing a side on his own team until he absolutely had to. And he went through the whole season without seeing an elimination. He did what he had to do through challenges. Like I said, played very defensive. Not something we're used to seeing from CT too much. We see him play defensive and not choose sides, but he went all out in this one and just sold his soul to the devil, being Cara and Paulie's Alliance. Rookie of the season, I was gonna give to Jenny, but she got trampled in that elimination. So I gotta give it to Esther. She showed up, she had a lot of heart, probably the most heart in the whole show, always smiling. Rookie of the year, I'm giving it to Esther. Host of the lifetime, give it to TJ Lavin. Biggest turnaround in the best and worst ways. Biggest turnaround in the worst way this season. Got to give it to Wes after, coming in third in the hardest final in history last season to going home pretty damn early on this season after some sloppy moves. Got to give, the worst turnaround to him. And then the MVP, most valuable player of the season, it's got to go to Jordan. He went into elimination multiple times, took out some beasts. Theo, took out Josh. I think he had another elimination in there. Gets engaged during the season. His team hates him, he swaps teams, still goes into elimination on Team UK. It just was a rough season for him, and he came out on top. Third consecutive win, you gotta give the MVP to him right now. And slowly creeping up as the best of all time. Bananas, be careful. You better do good next season. But yeah, that wraps it up. It has been an awesome season, War of the Worlds 2. Can't wait for next season. I know that is airing right now with the cast out on the intranet. I'm excited. I'm happy we crowned some new champions and some old champions. The reunion is is this Wednesday. Do you guys, if I get enough comments that ask me to do a breakdown on the reunion, I'll do it, but I didn't really plan on doing so. Lately the reunions have been kind of just cringy and just a shouting fest. Who can shout louder and who can show more skin than others sometimes. It's just been annoying to watch, very cringy. So, but maybe this one will be better. But let me know if you want me to do a breakdown on that. Other than that, it has been a pleasure during this season with all the breakdowns I have done. Thank you for your support and your views and your subscriptions and the comments. I appreciate all of you. I love talking about the challenge, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving talking about the challenge. So I will continue to talk about the challenge. While there's no season on, I will try to upload other videos, but I don't want to give too much away on that, but just stay tuned. Until then, peace out.